Every time I try to be present, it feels like I get backed into a corner, and then 100 different excuses come up as to why I cannot see my son. You get what I'm saying? And none of it has anything to do with me being busy or working. Just to be clear, I am not here to expose her personal life. But the truth is, we have not been together for a long time. I might come across as calm and harmless online, but trust me, you all do not really know what goes on behind the scenes. Will stand my ground, whether it is through raising my voice or choosing my words sharply. That is just who I am. If something needs to be said or someone needs to be checked, I am not the type to hold back. This is my energy, unapologetically. Welcome back to Star Hush, your go-to spot for raw, unfiltered updates. And honey, the situation between Halle Bailey and DDG just escalated in a major way. The latest? Halle has officially been awarded full custody of her son, Halo. But trust, it did not happen quietly. The courtroom drama was loaded with serious claims and receipts that had people doing double takes. Here is how it unfolded. Harley did not just file for custody out of the blue, she also petitioned for a restraining order against DDG. And when the details of her allegations surfaced, it shook the internet. Now imagine this. What are you talking about? He's asleep? He's in bed right now. Just give me my son. Confused and emotional, DDG tried to plead his side. But Harley pushed back. Why are you acting like this? What have I ever done that makes you treat me like a villain keeping your child away? Her answer? Because you do not know how to respect me. You embarrassed me publicly over an Usher concert. The tension, the heartbreak, the public fallout, it is a lot. And Star Hush is here to break it down every step of the way. You cannot be serious right now. Tell me you are joking. I'm not joking, came the sharp reply. You know I do not play games. And just like that, the tension exploded. This is the hill you are choosing to die on? You are really going to take my son from me and hit me with child support because I refuse to block Usher on social media for no real reason? Her answer? Crystal clear. Yes, block his Instagram, right now. Things only spiraled from there. Okay, I am asking you one last time, DDG pleaded, frustrated. You know I am live. Stop embarrassing me. But she shot back without missing a beat. No, you are the one embarrassing yourself. And then came the serious accusations, ones that painted a far darker picture. According to Halle, this was not just a lover's quarrel or some emotional back and forth. She claimed DDG had crossed serious lines. She alleged he dragged her by the hair, chipped her tooth, and left bruises on her arm. And it did not stop there. One day, while she was not even home, he reportedly broke into her house, snapped a photo of her bed, and tried to imply someone else had been there. That is not love. That is dangerous. And there was more. Halle said one time she and baby Halo were both sick, resting at home when DDG showed up in a rage. She claimed he broke her Ring camera, smashed her phone, and made things so hostile she had no choice but to call the police. While trying to care for their child, she also had to endure public humiliation. DDG would allegedly hop online, curse at her, call her degrading names, and then twist the story to make himself look like the victim, accusing her of keeping him from their son. But this time, the gaslighting did not work. The court saw through it. Now, Halle has full legal custody of little Halo. That means she is not only protecting herself, but creating a safe space for her child, far away from the chaos. And as for DDG, he admitted, "You want to know what I wanted to do tonight? Not even sleep. I just wanted to chill with someone special, that's it. But now, I might just force myself to go out or something." And just like that, the storm's second wave hit. The drama between Halle Bailey and DDG, it has gone from rocky to completely unhinged. So now, on top of the restraining order, DDG stirred the pot even more, accusing Harley of jetting off with baby Halo on a getaway with Brent Faiyaz. Yup, he made it sound like she took their son on some romantic escape with an R&B singer. But Harley shut that down quick. She denied the claim outright in a text DDG later tried to twist and use against her. Even then, Harley stayed composed. She did not clap back with chaos. She kept it calm and respectful. But behind closed doors, the stress was heavy. That restraining order? It was not just drama. It was a line in the sand. She needed protection and boundaries, fast. And then came the real headline grabber. Harley did not just file for a restraining order. She also secured temporary sole legal and physical custody of baby Halo. That means she has full control over decisions related to his health, education, and day-to-day life. No shared say, no co-parenting back and forth. It is her call now. But she took it a step further. She asked the court to restrict DDG's visits to just 1 day a week, for only 6 hours, and under professional supervision. No one-on-one time, no unsupervised hangouts, everything tightly monitored. Of course, opinions started flying. Some folks felt it might be extreme, arguing that unless DDG posed a direct threat to Halo, why all the limits? But when you add it all up, damaged phones, broken cameras, volatile arguments, and constant conflict, it becomes clearer why Harley is not taking any chances. She is trying to bring structure and peace into her son's life. Full stop. The next hearing is set for June 4th. Maybe by then some clarity will come. But in the meantime, Harley is holding things down the best way she knows how. And honestly, their whole co-parenting situation sounds like it is hanging by a thread. Harley claims DDG will not even communicate with her directly. It is not just tense, it is dysfunctional. She has been coordinating everything through DDG's mother, Miss Tanya, just to make visits happen. And even when baby Halo is with his dad, Harley claims it is really Tanya stepping in to spend that time with him. So instead of meaningful father-son bonding, it feels more like grandma babysitting duty. On top of that, Harley says DDG only makes time for Halo when it fits into his schedule, which is a major red flag when both parents have demanding, unpredictable careers. Haley is booked and busy as a full-time actress and singer. DDG is grinding too, balancing content creation, streaming, and more. Neither of them is working a traditional 9-to-5, which means structure is not just helpful, it is necessary. But here is where things start falling apart. DDG reportedly refuses to stick to any structured co-parenting plan. According to Harley's legal filings, she said it flat out. This has become extremely upsetting to me because Daryl refuses to work with my attorney to set up any set schedule. That one line speaks volumes. It is not just about dragging his feet. He is allegedly dodging accountability altogether, disregarding the legal process and trying to operate on his own terms. Worse still, DDG allegedly made threats like, "I'm taking my son 50% of the time and I'm not giving you a dime in support." That is where things crossed a serious line. Haley has been clear. She has never asked for child support, not even once. She has shouldered the financial responsibility on her own from day one. The only thing she ever requested was occasional help with Halo's expenses. And how many times has DDG stepped up? According to Harley, just once. Now, despite that track record, he is painting a picture like she is deliberately keeping their son away from him. Let's rewind for a moment. Right before the Met Gala, Harley even tried to coordinate a visit so DDG could see Halo. She worked it all out with Ms. Tanya and laid out a plan. She told him if he could not make it before her flight, then May 11th, when she'd return to LA, was wide open. But even with everything lined up, DDG still did not follow through. Cool with it. According to Ms. Tanya, he agreed. She even told Hi, "I forgot to text you," he said. "I'll wait until you get back to get him." So boom, the plan was in place. What makes it worse is what DDG said online afterward. He started throwing shade, claiming they were trying to destroy his image and everything he worked hard to build. He even went as far as calling Haley a demon, ranting about how people were fooled by her mermaid image while he claimed she was manipulating things behind the scenes. As soon as DDG went live, his followers jumped in hard. They instantly blamed Haley, accusing her of keeping him from their son, spreading that same tired narrative. But here's the truth. She is not trying to block him. She is just trying to protect her peace and make sure Halo has a stable, drama-free environment. This is not about clout or control. It is about parenting the right way, and that means showing up, being consistent, and putting your child before your ego. He is the one not cooperating. That is the detail people keep overlooking. And not only that, He is the one driving the false narratives, painting Halle as a bitter ex when all she is doing is protecting her peace and her son. He is creating an entire storyline that is damaging her public image. And in this industry, your image is everything. Here is what people need to understand. Halle is fully locked into her career right now. She is about to start filming Italiana, a major motion picture that is far from some small indie gig. This is a huge opportunity that could shift her entire career to the next level. There is serious money on the line, heavyweight contracts, and a global spotlight. The last thing she needs is messy public drama that could threaten her reputation or her future. While DDG is playing games online and chasing clicks, Halle is trying to keep things together, for the sake of her child and her career. That kind of stress hits differently when you are in the public eye, and one wrong move could cost you everything. That is exactly why she had to make the hard choice to pursue sole custody. It was not about revenge. It was not about trying to erase him from their son's life. It was about peace, structure, and emotional safety. Because let us be honest, when someone refuses to follow a co-parenting plan, avoids legal agreements, and constantly throws you under the bus online, what are you supposed to do? Halle knew the backlash that would follow. She knew people would rush to label her vindictive, selfish, spiteful. She knew the narrative would flip and people would accuse her of keeping DDG away from Halle just to be difficult. And she definitely knew that if child support was even mentioned, folks would come for her neck, calling her greedy or saying she was out for a paycheck. But here is the reality. DDG has never financially supported Halle, not once. Halle has taken care of every expense, every need, without ever making a public fuss. She only asked for his help one time. That is it. And through all of that, she has continued to carry the weight of being both a mother and a rising star, without trying to drag him or make it harder than it had to be. Then came her powerful message that made everything plain. In her own words, she said, "I have tried to accommodate Daryl by providing him access to Halle, even though he often is not present and leaves Halle with his mother." That one line says so much. She was never blocking him. She was bending over, backwards to make it work, even when it was inconvenient, even when she was across the country, even when it meant last-minute changes. But no matter what she did, it was never enough. Eventually, she had to draw the line. She said it clearly and with finality. "I cannot allow this abuse any longer. I cannot keep living like this." That is not something you say lightly. That is a woman pushed past her limit. Halle shared that she never knows what to expect. One moment, DDG is telling her to drop Halle off with his mom. The next, he is on live streams throwing shade, spinning stories, and making threats. It is chaotic. It is toxic, and it is not sustainable. And for the sake of her son and her sanity, she had to choose a healthier path, even if it came with public judgment. And what makes it even more unbelievable is this. While Halle was signing that declaration, Daryl was out in Miami putting on a whole show for social media, ranting about how he could not see his son. The reality? She had already lined everything up for him to pick up Halle in Los Angeles. That was when she made it crystal clear. This was never about fatherhood. It was all for attention. She said it herself. This situation is not centered around the child. According to Halle, Halle is being used as a tool to boost DDG's online image, and that is heartbreaking. Because in the middle of all the back and forth, it is a young boy caught in the storm, thrown into the spotlight like a character in someone else's internet drama. The truth is, DDG needs to mature. Fast. If he genuinely wants to be part of his son's life, then he has to stop treating fatherhood like content. Being a parent means showing up, not just when it suits your image or audience, but when it matters. It means consistent effort, honest communication, and real structure. People do not want to see a father cut off from his child, if that father is loving, responsible, and present. And sure, from afar, it seems like DDG does care. But love that never translates into real, grounded action, that is just empty noise. He keeps choosing chaos, live stream outbursts, veiled shots at Halle, reposting hateful comments about her, all while knowing exactly how his followers will react. That is not harmless. It is toxic, and it makes healthy co-parenting nearly impossible. Instead of building a pathway to work together, he is stacking up emotional barriers. And guess who ends up on the other side? Halo. So let us be very clear. If DDG truly wants to be a positive, reliable force in his son's life, the noise needs to stop. He needs to rebuild trust, not for Haley's sake, but for the little boy they both love. Because what is really at stake here is not just custody, it is peace, trust, and the emotional security every child deserves. As for DDG, even he admits it. He says he has an anxious attachment style. He owns being an Aries, a fire sign, full of emotion and intensity. He admits he looks sweet and calm online, but deep down, it is a different story. That honesty matters, but growth matters more. I do not hold back. If I have to raise my voice, speak my truth, or defend someone I care about, I am going to do it, no hesitation. That is my strength. I do not sit quiet while people cross lines. It has always been clap back over sit back for me. I may be kind, but mess with me or the ones I love, and it is game over. I am an Aries. It comes with the territory. I will admit this too. I do not create chaos in my relationships for no reason. But yes, I am territorial. I get jealous. If I feel a certain way, if I want to post something online, I am going to do it without second guessing. That is just who I am. But now, the situation has crossed over from messy to downright dangerous. DDG is out here saying he wants to hang with people who have publicly disrespected Harley. People who went as far as calling her a demon. That is not just petty. That is hurtful. And that is exactly the kind of toxic energy Harley has been trying to escape. From the very beginning, she has been clear. She is exhausted by the constant online harassment. And it is not just random trolls stirring the pot. The moment DDG engages with or gives attention to people who target her, he adds fuel to a fire that should have never been lit. It is one thing to argue behind closed doors. It is another to encourage public hate while the mother of your child is simply asking for peace. And it does not end with him. His whole family is joining in. His brother has already commented on the custody battle, and now his sister has stepped into the mix. 2, reposting a TikTok that seemed to mock Haley. That is not innocent. That is instigating. When your circle jumps into such a delicate situation, especially one involving a child, it transforms private struggles into public warfare. And instead of working to calm the chaos, they are pouring gas on the flames. This whole situation has gotten way out of hand. If DDG truly wants to fix things, he needs to put an end to all the drama, especially the noise coming from his own crew. What do you think? Is DDG stirring the pot on purpose, or is he just oblivious to how bad this looks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep it right here on Star Hush for all the latest.